get going. So, we have here the final match of the round of 8. In the bottom right is SJ Southpark as the white Zerg. There we go. And in the top left is Julia as the boom. Julia as the blue Zerg.
Who's Julia? Do you know him?
Julia's an old player. Like,
okay.
He played in... Excuse me. He played in TS... No, not TSL. ISL 1. And I think that he was... I think he was around before then. Like in some WCG Poland.
Okay.
But I'm not the best on my WCG history, so I couldn't tell you what years. I do know, though, that he was in ISL 1.
Alright. And this is a best of 1, or how much?
This is a best of 1, as it is in the loser's bracket.
Okay. Who did Southpark lose against?
I can actually check that. Give me a second. Southpark lost against Missouri.
Oh, okay.
Damn. Okay, if I had realized that Southpark played Missouri like the round before this, I probably would have casted that game.
Yeah.
Damn. Alright.
Yeah, I was pretty surprised when I downloaded the Filer Tour replay pack. I've seen that Southpark played a lot PvT games and also PvP, so I don't know what was the reason for that, but seems like he decided to play Zerg again.
Really?
Yeah, he played like PvP against Lancer and PvT against Largo and someone else I can't remember right now. And he at least won against Largo, so that's not too bad for being Protoss off-race as far as I know.
Missouri saying in the chat that he was playing on Southpark's account.
I was thinking about something like that, but yeah, okay, never mind.
Alright. So, Southpark now moving out.
Oh, excuse me.
Excuse you. With the first few lings, Julia does have lings on the way, has got his sunken colony done. So this shouldn't be too much of an issue here. Okay. Wait. Never mind. Never mind. I'm done. So, Southpark, it's not going to be able to do too much. This isn't the tightest Zerg placement you've ever seen, but it's going to be good enough that Southpark really can't in there. Okay. For Southpark, he's getting his fire up now. We expect Julia to do the same as soon as that layer is finished. Has enough money for the spire. Alright, there we go. Not building that building between the top mineral patch and the extractor to block that gap that you so commonly see. Actually, Southpark didn't do it either, putting the spire way in the back there. But that's at least a little bit more common than Julia putting the spire kind of out in the open. Like, that's very snipeable if Southpark gets his lings down into Julia's base, but it looks like Julia has an increased ling production and is going to be able to beat Southpark at the top of the ramp here.
Yeah, he decided to go for speed, and now this is going to be very annoying for Southpark. He already has placed his creep colony, so I think he'll be fine in time, but he got a way lower, not way lower, but a lower supply count than Julia. But I think that's only circling, so... And his spire is a little bit faster. And Julia decides to expand immediately right now. It's interesting.
I'm actually a little bit surprised that Southpark built... Okay. Now I'm actually really surprised. I was surprised that Southpark built the Sunken Colony at all, but I'm really surprised that Southpark got Scourge.
Yeah, I was wondering about that as well.
He saw Julia's timing. He knew Julia didn't build... excuse me, he knew that Julia's Spire finished later. Very rarely do you see a player build Scourge before their opponent's Spire is done.
Yeah, and he just lost 2 drones against the Zerglings, which isn't too good as well. And he's getting the attack upgrade. I don't know so much about ZVZ, but I think it's more common to upgrade defense upgrade first.
It certainly is. You go for attack when you expect your opponent.
Oh!
Using 3 Scourge to take out 1 Mutalisk, still a good trade. You go for that attack upgrade first when you expect your opponent to have Spore Colonies, and you want to try to bust him with the Mutalisks, but again, he had good scouting with his Overlord for a long time there, before it was finally killed off.
Yeah.
It doesn't seem like he's using that scouting information to its fullest.
Yeah, this isn't looking too good for Southpark. Now Julia is on 2 hatch already. I think Southpark don't even nearly will be able to build a 2nd hatchery in the future. He needs to spend every mineral on the next Mutalisk, so I don't know, maybe he just wanna wait for his attack upgrade to finish and just try 1 attack. I don't know what's the plan.
Something is very weird about Southpark's play here. He went for a 9 pool. Unless his opponent had done something weird, like gone overgas, he has the first Spire. Like against everything else. And when you have the first Spire and you don't have an expansion, you attack. You just go for it. I don't know what he saw in Julia's base that made him not want to attack, or made him want to build Scourge first, or get +1. None of these things really add up. Yeah. But it does mean that Julia's getting the chance to get higher Mutalisk numbers here with that 2nd hatchery done. And I believe...
Indeed.
I believe that... Well, Julia's ahead in supply. I think the Mutalisk numbers are favoring Julia. I can check that using the handy-dandy stats. There we go. Alright. No. Southpark does have a 1 Mutalisk advantage at this point, 9-8.
Wow. But therefore, Julia got a couple of Scorches, so but he's going in the main base right now, taking off some drones.
Going after the
and there we go.
drones. Is he going to be able to land the hits? Yes, he does manage to land hits, but Julia lands hits as well. So it's going to be a pretty even fight. Southpark with 1 Mutalisk advantage does also have +1. So it looks like Southpark is going to be able to win this fight. And now with Scourge coming in, he's going to be able to land, yes, more Scourge hits. I really... No. Southpark's pulling out. How damage were his Mutalisks? Oh, it would have been close. Would have been close. It was 2 versus 2. No, Southpark ducks out. Yeah, and after throwing away all those Mutalisks, I don't know what the game plan is for Southpark here. He kind of has to spore up, right?
Yeah, because Julia is just doing the right thing, just pumping Scorches right now. I think he's aware of the fact, even though he didn't scout for a pretty long time, that Southpark's still on 1 hatch. So this is a correct decision.
Just trying to count drones. We have 11 drones from Julia compared to 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 from Southpark. And that Sunken Colony is really mannering his drones quite badly.
Oh wow, yeah.
The funny thing is,
and we have a fight again.
The funny.
No. Sorry.
The funny thing is, it's completely avoidable. He could just be mining from the bottom patches, and then he wouldn't be mannered. He doesn't have a whole lot of drones.
Yeah.
Taking more Scourge hits. No, players not dodging Scourge very well this game. There we go. Gonna be able to take out those 2 Scourge. And Southpark going in again. He has 5 Mutalisks compared to Julia's, I want to say 4. Now going down, losing more Mutalisks here. Julia had a lot more Scourge. I guess he used a lot of the Scourge early on. Well, he had 6, and then he used 2 to kill a Mutalisk, used 2 on Scourge, on Southpark Scourge, and then just lost 2. Now trying to go in for attacks, but Southpark's going to be able to micro those down with 4 Mutalisks. That's not hard for him if there's no Mutalisk of your own to try to apply pressure. And now Julia switching to a little bit of a Zergling game here. Try to put pressure on Southpark, trying to keep the Mutalisks off of him. Man, I don't know how Julia managed to work himself into this position.
Yeah,
it has something to do with the fact that he got this gas at his natural and then just didn't use it for quite a while. It certainly wasn't helping, but man, Southpark, he's doing a lot of damage here.
Yeah, for me it's a big surprise that he ends up, looking this good right now.
Julia going in again, trying to pick off some drones here before the Mutalisk can come back. Southpark does not have a very good economy. He was just off of a 9 pull and hardly replenished. But the Zerglings are going after the Sun Colony instead. It doesn't matter. GG, too many drones were lost. So Southpark advances.
Well done. That was well played.
Alright. So